Hello.
Well, here we are. And it is Flosstube number 22 for us. It's April 6th, 2019. We're
Can
happy
you believe
you're here.
it hasn't been 3 months. What can we say? We're trying. We're trying. So, yeah, did you know we do? Did you know we hit 2,000 subscribers?
We remember when we were excited about
500.
Yeah,
Well, that was
500.
our goal. We were
Right?
like, oh, wouldn't that be so sweet? 500.
Yeah.
We were doing the dance. Like we were so excited. We're like, okay, it's all good. We're done. And 2,000.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. Thank you so much for watching our
Thank you.
videos. Thank you for your sweet, kind comments. We appreciate it so, so much.
oh, definitely. And so I don't know. I feel like this kind of snuck up on me.
Yeah,
Didn't it?
me too.
So we need to plan a
Yeah, sorry.
something.
We will. We'll figure it out, but we're just not ready yet.
No. It's that emoji where you kind of like that. Watch. They capture that.
Oh yeah, that will
Right?
be our
That'll be
little
the best one. So April 6th already, almost all the snow is gone.
Yay, we're so happy because I really felt like it was going to stay forever.
Yeah. I
We were
still
buried.
have chunks of snow in the ditches toward my house. There's still some snow, but and then Monday morning. Monday morning, my husband comes in. He gets up really early and he says, "There's snow," and I'm like, "Oh no, you are in trouble now." And I did not believe him until I looked out the window, and I thought, we have 9 snow days. You know, if this were number 10, I'm out. Like, theoretically, right now, we should have 9 more school days behind us than we have now. So, a little bit of a struggle there.
Yeah, just a pinch. But hey, it melted the same day, so we were
did.
very grateful.
It did. So, I think the last we talked, we were talking about spring break.
Yeah.
We had spring break brain, definitely. March 18th, that week we had off, and I went to Arizona, had a great time, and
I went to Milwaukee and had a great time. It was so much fun.
so just had a chance to recharge, and it's been good. Yeah. What you want to share?
Yes, I do. So first of all, let's share our mugs for today because this falls into my spring break. So I got a Milwaukee mug. I think it's so cute. I love the colors. The Good Land. And then it's Brew City on the back. Fun. Yeah.
See the eyebrows? I do have a Phoenix mug. Did I bring it? No.
Were you close to Phoenix? Oh.
But yeah,
I'm clueless about Arizona.
you don't see that mug. I brought an old mug of mine now. Yeah, I have a dishwasher and I use it to store my mugs. I know. That's what I do. So I was kind of checking around, seeing what I had. And this is a really old mug. And it's from my heyday of scrapbooking. And I don't know if anybody would recognize this logo or Scrapshare. It was an online group that just shared ideas, scrapbooking, and just was such support during the years I was living overseas and scrapbooking. And I don't know. I don't believe it's still, I don't think it's still open or running, or I think it's closed. I don't know. So I don't know if anybody remembers this or not, but I don't know. Walk down memory lane there.
Yeah, let her know if you do or if you've got a connection to that because it would be fun to connect over that. I'm clueless. During my scrapbook years, I'd never heard of that before. So I was like, oh, cool. Kind of like a Stitch Mania group, you said.
Right. Right. It
But
was
for
just a really
scrapbookers,
supportive. I seem to remember it was had a lot of people who really enjoy creative memory products, creative memories. But there was so much other stuff also. But it was a great community. But I don't know. I still have the mug and all my scrapbooks, so that's good. All right. So
oh, sorry, spring break, Milwaukee. So if you remember, my plan was to hopefully go to the lake and search for sea glass. And I got that opportunity. It was so awesome. We had a free afternoon. So my husband and son, I dropped them off at an Applebee's that was right next door to a movie theater. It was perfect. So they could walk, right. So they could have lunch, walk over to the movie theater, see Captain Marvel, and then they were about a mile from our hotel. So they just walked back to the hotel. And I took our vehicle and drove down to the lake and spent like 4.5 hours down there by myself. It was amazing. Silly side story. I pull into the parking lot. It's kind of, I don't know. You don't know how much traffic is really going through there. And you have to hike down to the lake all through the woods. And once you get in there, you're pretty much by yourself. It's pretty quiet. So I pull up in the parking lot and I kind of glance over and there's a spot in between, but there's this very scary looking van. Scary. It's got scary stickers on it. It is scary looking. Can't see inside. Yeah, just one of those where you don't want to pull up next to you. You hear the scary stories about how you get out and they like leap out and grab you and shove you in their van. It was that kind of a scary looking van. So I took a picture of it and texted my husband and said, he said, I'll make it out alive. I need you to see this vehicle.
Now that's determination. I am going to go find that sea glass.
I even told him, I'm like, there's a large stick next to the car. I might pick it up and just hold on to it for protection.
Now that can't be that
I was
stick.
not freaked. No, it's not.
Okay. Here, show that one.
She's referring to my little piece of driftwood. Yeah, no. It was bigger than this.
Okay.
It was like a club. Like think Billy Club.
That's fair.
But then I got out of the car and forgot to grab it. So I was defenseless, except for but you know, like I'm a real tough broad. No, I'm a softie. Anyway, this I used, I actually didn't use this the day that I went down to the lake by myself. I went back to another spot, totally different area with a friend of mine. And there was a lot of driftwood there. So I used this to dig through the rocks and the sand. Yeah, so it was great, but it's kind of cool. So I kept it.
And I think it has such a good shape. Like if she had a small to hang off of it.
That'd be fun,
It'd be
wouldn't
really
it?
sweet.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that. Even has a little sand left on it. It's so fine. It's almost like ocean sand. So yeah, I had some great luck hunting. I hiked down to the lake by myself. It was super quiet down there. Hardly anybody was around. The ice shelf was still on the shore. Last year when I went, that was gone. But this year there was still an ice shelf, so I had to climb over it to get to the other side where the water was. It was so pretty. The water was so clear. And I just sat there, got my buns wet, and just dug. But it's the perfect time to go because all of that, washes up and all that snow melts away. Yeah, it just brings it in. So I found some great treasures. So here's some of my favorite pieces of sea glass. I'm trying to tip it, but I don't think it'll work.
Now, right behind us, oh wait.
Oh yeah, last year.
Right. Oh, this is beautiful.
Okay, I found this really cool jar in this driftwood thing at TJ Maxx last year, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's perfect to hold my glass. So you can see I filled this whole thing with sea glass. Beautiful. It is full. Right. And that was me and my friend. She said she had so much at home. So everything that she and sometimes her children collected, they gave to me. They picked out some favorite pieces and then gave me the rest. So yeah, beautiful. Like here's a perfect example of cool sea glass because it's a thick piece. It's very rounded, really frosty. That is a perfect piece of sea glass right there. So that's kind of what you're looking for. So yeah, I just dug and dug and dug by myself and just found some really pretty, a lot of these, I know it's kind of hard to tell, but a lot of these are kind of greeny, blue, just real, they're so soft in color that you maybe can't always tell the
Well, you found some other items too.
I did. This is a favorite one. Look at that, gorgeous. Those turquoisey ones are my favorite.
That's my favorite.
Okay, I know. This one's really cool. This one's so cool. This is
really nice.
Sometimes when I'm digging, I like gasp. And my friend does too when we go together. We're all, yeah, so this one was like, oh my gosh. I'm like sitting down there by myself. If anybody walked by, they'd be like, okay, what is she doing? I was shocked. The few people that walked by never asked me what I was doing. Never. I thought they were going to be like, did you lose your wedding ring? Or, you know, like
something.
Nothing.
Right.
I'm sitting on the other side of this ice shelf and I can kind of hear something and I look up and over and these people are walking their dog and I'm like, oh, hello, I say to the dog. And they didn't even hear me down there, but they're not asking me either why I'm sitting on the other side of the ice shelf. They're just like, whatever. But this was oh my gosh, all by myself. So I found a marble. Who knows how old it is. It's worn on one side, so it sits flat. But when it was in the water, it was all shiny and just so cool. I tried to rub some mineral oil on it, but it didn't hold the shine. And it's not, you know, glass when it gets tumbled in the sand and the rocks, that's why it has this kind of filmy. It's not shiny anymore. So the same has happened with this marble. It doesn't shine anymore, but you can totally tell it's a marble.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It is. It's so cool. I was really excited about that one. So that was one of my treasures. And I found, it's always fun to find little pieces of pottery. Like this one's probably a tile or something of some sort. It's green on both sides. I found a tiny little chip of blue transferware. That was cool.
Yeah.
And there's just some cool rocks. Like I love this one, fossil that has that gorgeous honeycomb texture to it.
So do you plan to go back anytime soon, or?
Oh my gosh, I would love to. Seriously.
So Stitchers in Milwaukee.
Right? Hit me up. I love going there. I love to visit Milwaukee, but
no, seriously.
It's so much fun. But like, other people may not think that digging for sea glass is fun. I love it. So I'm sitting down there for hours digging and digging and digging and digging. And then you find something and you go, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Other people think it's boring. Like they just don't get it. So you kind of have to be obsessive about finding treasure in the rocks like me. But I found some cool pieces too that look like milk glass. So I thought those were kind of fun. Really white. Oh, and Oregon friends, this was awesome. I kept finding agates.
Yeah.
So I kept grabbing them.
And you did not find agates last time you went.
No, I don't think so. Well, I wasn't as experienced with agates. Like after going to Oregon last year,
you can identify them better.
Yeah, I knew what I was looking for, and I kept finding them. So I just kept grabbing them.
Right.
So I was like, oh, I can't leave you behind. Here's another one. It's just really, it almost like pieces like this fake you out and you think that they're sea glass, but no, it's an agate. Hold it up to the light. I'm like, oh, I can see light through it. I get so excited. Then I found I've collected a lot of rocks this time too. So I found like really funky ones like this one. I do not know what that is. It has all those colored chips in it. But then on the other side, it's different.
So,
funky. So weird. Oh, and then this piece too is kind of cool. It's looks like a handle of some sort, like maybe off of a cup or something. Anita thought she could see like the crackle in it. Kind of looked like a
looks
ship.
like a design. Yeah, it did.
I'm sure you can't see it, and I don't know how to focus. Sorry, I'm not that tech savvy.
So,
and
how long were you there?
When I went by myself, I was there for 4.5 hours.
Okay.
When I went the next time with a friend, I was there for maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours to a totally different spot. Great place. It still probably had more ice than the spot that I'd been at. Yeah, so we couldn't quite get to the spot that we wanted to get to because there was it. Yeah, but even in what looked like it was just sand, you'd start digging and find a ton of rocks, and then you'd find some sea glass. So it's fun. It's like buried treasure, and when it's in the water, you can really. It's easy to identify.
Yeah, I need that.
So it was super fun. So I had a blast in Milwaukee. Oh, and I love driftwood too. It's just cool. This little piece was like, too adorable for words. I just love that.
So while you were there, I went to Arizona to see my parents and spend a day or part of a day at the attic in Mesa. And that was an amazing experience. If you're ever in the area and you don't have anything planned on a Thursday from 10 to 8, like it was just amazing. The stitchers that were there, McKenna Stitching and Sequins was there, and she was just lovely. I just really enjoyed the experience. I'm like, oh, Mesa, who knew?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was nice, and the weather was perfect, and just my brother and his family had flown in as well for a few days, and got to see them and spend time. One of the things that I left with is a new Ort container. My parents had found this at my grandmother's house in Florida and brought it back, and I looked at it and I said, oh, has my name on it. No, it doesn't really, but like it would be just a really sweet Ort container and a nice reminder of my grandmother for me. So isn't that pretty? So I walked away with that, and
I love that.
The attic, it was, yeah.
I get to see a few pics.
I'm going back.
And I'm coming! I can't wait!
We're planning. We're in the planning stages, but we would definitely like to make a trip there. So
yes.
So
tell me how this worked. Like, it's from 10 to 8. Do you leave and go get something to eat and come back, or? I
didn't get there till about 4, so I'm not sure, but there was homemade baked goods that people have brought to share, and they have 4 tables set up in a row, and each table accommodates 6 stitchers, and I think at one point it was full.
Wow.
And when I was there, it was about halfway full, I think. But these women were just amazing, and you could tell they had been coming and meeting each other and stitching and sharing stories and sharing their lives for years.
Aww.
For years.
I love that.
So yeah, it was just it was very heartwarming. You walked away, you just that it was special, very special. So yeah, we need to go back.
Very cool.
We need to go back.
I've never been to Arizona ever.
Well,
so cool.
Yeah.
I've always been curious about Sedona.
So I did some haul shopping. I did some stashquisitions there, but are we there yet? Let's talk about whips.
Yes, let's. The whip that just won't end. I love it so much. Don't get me wrong, but I'm kind of sick of it. And so now I'm at the point where I just want to get it done so I can work on something else, because I know me, and I know if I put this aside because I'm sick of it right now, I am not going to pick it back up until who knows when, and I don't want to do that. I want it to be finished, because I did that for a snowfall. It doesn't have that much left to do. I tossed that aside. Merry Christmas, my dear, I tossed aside. And I know that they're not done, and it wouldn't take much to finish them. I just it's the startitis thing. I want to start something else. I want to work on something else.
Well, I had talked. I said, oh, you should have done the 24-hour.
Oh, yeah.
24 hours of stitching that Jen Lee, Quirks and Stitches?
Yeah.
Had put together. I think stitchers all over are finishing that 24-hour marathon.
Oh my gosh.
So I heard about this. I'm like, okay, I'm not up for a marathon, maybe a half marathon, like 12 hours. I think I'm more like a 5K. But you know, stitching is stitching. I'm pedaling as fast as I can right now.
Yeah.
But, if you had joined,
oh yeah, I
I'd
would
be
have
done.
finished. I'd be done. I know. I just couldn't do it. It would take days to recover from that for me. I don't have that kind of stamina in me anymore. But yes.
It is a great concept.
It is.
And people are definitely finishing projects and starting new and one stitch at a time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
But
here it is.
Watch how close.
Dun, 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 dun. Been living in the land of white. So you can see probably since the last time I've talked to you, I've gotten some back stitching done and a lot of white stitch. So I am super close.
Oh.
I'm in the finish line. I have those last 2 squares at the bottom to finish.
The 5K might finish this.
Right. You know, the pattern.
You know, if I stayed and stitched after we film, ooh.
Maybe.
You know, we
might give me
don't
the
live
motivation.
that far away from each other. We talk
Seriously,
about this.
it takes about 5 minutes to get to each other's
if
homes.
that. And we hardly get together to stitch.
We talk a lot.
We talk, yeah.
Almost
she'll
daily.
be stitching. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She'll be stitching in her home. I'll be stitching in my home. We're just texting back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
But 5 minutes?
I know it's
we
ridiculous.
We need to fix this.
We need to fix it. So, yeah, we might do a little stitching after
Maybe
this.
a 5K.
However, okay, so here's button up. Did I even say this is Prairie Schooler button up? I'm sorry. It is. And this is what the finished model looked like with the border around the edge and in between. Initially, when I saw this, I didn't want to do this. And so then I thought, okay, I could maybe do a running stitch. And I had thought of doing that. Misty Purcell has done that, and I think it looks really great. And then I thought, no, I want to do something really kind of pretty and lacy because Helen D had talked about that. And so I wanted to do that just around the outside edge. But now I'm like, I don't want to do that.
I say
I just
call
want to
it
be done.
Right.
So Anita was like,
It's so pretty.
just stick it in a white... Okay,
Just-
let's put it right side. Stick it in a white frame and
And
call
she's
it good.
just down to this little area down here.
Right? That's
Right?
it.
Is that it?
That's it.
Right in this area.
Yes. And of course, stupid me. I don't know why, but there's a little back stitching that happens right here because he's holding a cute little branch. Yeah, I stitched that before I put the white in. Stupid me. So I have to go back and stitch it again.
Okay. Yeah, I see it
But
now.
yeah, like, I'm so
But
close.
it's so close.
It's so
Today.
close. I just
Today.
want it to be done.
Today.
But then I haven't stitched as much as I probably could have because I'm tired of it.
Well,
Ridiculous.
I am stitching on a couple of my Stitch 9 challenge at home. I'm going to have Chicago by Satsuma Street finished this week. But this week has been, you know, it's just, I know. Those clouds go on forever.
Listen,
But
I know
you
what
know
you're
what?
talking about.
But next time I'll definitely share that one out.
Yeah.
We want to talk about a retreat though coming up.
Yes.
April 25th to April 28th. And I know there's hardly any notice here.
Sorry.
But the Stitchery Nook in Osage is having an open stitching weekend. And I believe the last I had heard that there were still some openings available. And it's such a great experience. The retreat is upstairs. They have a lift, so you don't have to use the stairs. And there's a full kitchen and quite a few bathrooms.
Yep.
And it's just really nice. So I
Living area.
believe it was, what, $115
Yeah.
for three
nights.
Come on.
You can't beat it.
So, and again, it's super short notice. I will link their phone number. If you're interested at all, I would give them a call. I figured out Osage is about I'm going to read now. 2 hours and 15 minutes from Minneapolis. 3 hours and 36 minutes from Sioux City. 2 hours and 13 minutes from Des Moines. 3 hours and 46 seconds from Madison. And 4 hours and 6 minutes from Omaha.
So come and spend the weekend with us. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, it will be. It will be. So
And we love the Stitchery Nook. I mean, hello, we retreat on the top.
They're amazing.
The store's on the bottom, so if we need something, we can go down and get it. And yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah, and all we do is we
love our friends Liz and Sherry.
Yeah, and
love them.
We
love
all
them.
bring snacks together. We do
Share
some meal
meals.
planning, so it keeps the cost really, really down. So just thought I'd throw that out. We wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah.
What else?
Again,
do we
Anita will
have?
link the phone number
I will,
for the Stitchery Nook below.
because I don't have it memorized yet.
I know.
I will.
It's hard. You know, it's funny. We don't memorize phone numbers as much anymore. Now that we have cell phones, we just plug it in and
Right.
call.
So let's talk about haul.
Yeah, we can talk about haul.
Okay, because we've got it.
We've talked about this. We're like, you know what? We really need to do some Stitch from Stash. We really don't need anything, but you know how that goes. You know, just so many things we want. The collection is growing. Much to our husband's chagrin.
Definitely.
At least mine.
Well, I'll go. Okay, so I was at a thrift shop a while, not too long ago, a local
recently.
thrift shop, and I found this. It's by the Silver Needle. Welcome to Secret Needle Night Salty Flip Flops, May 2015. And look, it's already been stitched. So, and the shells, what I need is in here just to finish this up. I see they have it as a hanging, but I'm going to go ahead and finish it as a small, but I thought that was super sweet.
It's cute. And it's got
It
sparkle to
is.
it. You can't tell, I don't think, on film, but
So, and
it's
then
got some cute sparkle.
I have some items that I found in Arizona.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I was at a thrift shop there and found quite the deal. This is by Passion Ricamo,
Maybe.
Italian style. It's in a okay, I'm just gonna show it. Sampler Antica. I don't know. That pretty. And then Lily Violet, Tom Dunege, Time of Snow.
I love that.
And so a thrift store in Arizona, so you can kind of understand why somebody said, hey, I'm going to stitch that. And then, no palm trees or cacti.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, where's the cacti? Where's the, it just, I don't know. It doesn't really scream Arizona. and then I think the same person.
You're right.
Welcome winter.
That's so cute.
I think they were just like, okay. So at the attic, I found this 36 count, and this might be maybe my second piece of 36 count, Lakeside in Meadow Rue. It's
love
just a
this.
little piece,
It's so pretty.
but it's big enough that I'm gonna give it a shot.
The modeling shows up really well.
In the that I was so happy with
It's
that.
beautiful.
And then you have one of these, and I've wanted one ever since. I have corner gauges at home, but they were cut out of cardstock. And I just throw it into my bag. But now I have an official one from the attic. Isn't that sweet?
It is. I love that it has the attic's name
I know.
on it.
But
Mine is it's the same, and we're certain it's from the same company. This was really busy, I know. But I just
it's beautiful.
liked it better than the plain one. I got mine at Stitchville. Was it?
Right.
I think it was at the retreat last fall. So yeah, really pretty, but you can see the holes up here. So I love using this. I use it all the time.
I might not have everything. But I'm close.
Yeah.
The bells on Christmas Day. Everyone has seen this.
So pretty.
Yeah.
I love Blackbird.
And then the last find I had in Arizona was
This is cool.
American Summer Seaside Inspired Rugs and Quilts. I found that at, I don't know, it was a regular store. But it has such beautiful designs in it by Kansas City Star Quilts. So
it's beautiful for rug hooking, but we thought that the patterns could be used for punch needle as well. So, so pretty.
Or applique.
Yeah.
Oh, I just loved it. So I
pretty.
think that was my, and then this was an Arizona
Oh yeah, this is
haul.
cool.
So these are little molds that
Jello.
says Jello.
Aren't they cute?
And I don't quite know what I'm going to do with them, but it does kind of lend itself to a small.
That'd be cute.
Aren't they cute? I don't know. I like them.
I do too.
Had to get it. And then I think that's it for my Arizona haul.
What about
Oh, well, that's more like,
this one?
yeah, no, that's part, I don't know if this is part of my Nashville.
Oh, okay,
This might be
gotcha.
part of Nashville.
Okay.
Not sure. This is by Jardin Privé. Lulu, it says cactus. And
Cactus.
cactus. It might be I don't know what's the date on it. It might be a Nashville release. I don't know. I saw it. I lived in Peru as a child. I lived there for about a year, and this is really the first pattern I've ever come across that really says, "Ooh,
Peru."
You know, and it's super sweet. So
It's
I'm
so
excited.
adorable. That screams Peru to me. I love it.
And then we're so excited.
We got the cookbook.
Happiness is homemade. Oh,
Yeah.
there's another quote. We'll get to quotes.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But we're excited.
Yeah, these are really special. It's fun to see all of these special recipes from
like Hands-On Design, the Blue Flower,
Teresa
like the Primitive Air, everybody.
Yeah.
Like,
Lady
look at
Dot Creates,
I'll
Lottie
show the
Dot.
back.
Yeah, so you can see all the different designers listed.
Look at that.
Tiny Modernist.
Just amazing.
Needlework Press. Yeah, it's amazing. So that's fun.
And then You Had Me at Flamingo by Hands-On Design. Seriously, come on. It's not the traditional silhouette of a flamingo, which is what I really, really like about it. I don't know if I'm going to keep the A, B, C, D, E, F. I might do something like, Flamingo Big or Go Home or What the Flock. Hand slap. But
That's
I don't
funny.
know. I can't get over. I can't get over this.
It's so adorable.
I cannot get over it. I'm so excited. We have talked. We don't really swear too often. I would say.
I rarely,
Okay.
never.
If she says good gravy, stand back. No, seriously.
Yeah. I have funny little sayings like that, but yeah, it's unusual for me to use language.
So anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Anywho.
yes, hence the hand slap.
Well, because I know people were kind of teasing me on our last video because seriously, we teach our kids. I teach my kids are my students. I just call them my kids. I always tell them I love them like they're my own. And I just tell them I don't talk that way. Ultimately, I'm an example to them, but in my life, I don't know. Language has just been a negative for me. So I always ask my kids, do you feel good when you hear people talk like that? We don't want to talk that way if it doesn't make people feel good. So ultimately, I just want to tell them, I don't talk like that at home. I don't talk that way with my friends. And there's no offense. Please don't take offense.
And I can ramp it up.
For me, I'm like...
I can talk like a pirate. I can. But I think as educators, if I could see where it'd be easy to slip.
I've known educators who every other word, and it freaks me out because I'm like, how do you do that?
Because you're
and shut it off.
So long. It's such a big part of our lives, and so switch on, switch off, switch on, switch off. So I don't know.
It's just who I am. I think I sound ridiculous if I was. If you were to hear me, sorry, you'd be like, I even sound stupid because it's not me.
I'd have to get my phone and take notes like, oh, on this day. Oh no. Yeah. Okay, so sorry, I totally digressed there, but you had me at flamingo,
right?
So anyway,
or what the flock apparently. Flock, they're in a flock. Right. Anywho. Just getting a little more.
I am. Okay,
I
so
feel good.
we got the Gentle Art limited edition colors that were available. So we're super excited to try these out. Fig and Harbor Gray. Yeah, I don't know if I have anything.
I know. Oh.
Nope. Okay. There we go.
I don't think it does. I don't think you can truly see. This Harbor Gray, I think, is just gorgeous. And this fig, it's hard to see it, I think, but it's got a purpley,
it's
purplish, brownish,
right,
lavenderish, sort of. It's weathered though.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard to describe, but it's cool. And they look really pretty together.
So really my daughter came over to kit up a project today, and she goes, "Mom, I can't figure out your system." And I said, "Well, the blues are together, greens are together." And she goes,
color.
No. It needs to be by company. It needs to be. So we took all of the fancy floss apart and put all the Gentle Arts together, all the weeks tied together, and then it's all alphabetized too now. Had to do that. So I mean, it looks good.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. It does seem kind of easy. So that's what happened at my house today.
I can see the benefit of, like, you're looking for a specific color name and you're wondering if you have it or not. You don't have to search by all your colors. You can just go straight to the design, to the brand name, and look for the name. So that might be a little more efficient.
I wonder if I had... Nope, I don't. Okay, so I also got Liberty and Justice for All by Summerhouse Stitchworks. And I think those are just super sweet.
They are.
And then... I should take this out.
You
Did
should.
you even know about this one?
Didn't.
I didn't even know about this one.
No. This is a Nashville release.
It is. And then
that we didn't hear a word about.
It's by Jeanette Douglas. And, she's all about gourmet stitching. She is. But this has crosses and a satin stitch. So I can do a satin stitch.
You bet.
So look at this. It's called Blooming Bouquets, number 2, Cheerful.
That is so pretty.
Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Beautiful.
She has it charted for Gloriana threads, but she does have the DMC conversions. But beautiful.
Beautiful.
Had to come home. So
good choice.
I know.
Good choice.
So I think, I forgot to show my slippers, but that's okay.
Oh, you can show your slippers. Show them. So we've already mentioned them. Pull them out.
At the Stitchery Nook. So we went one time, and
a year ago.
We took a photo of us shopping in our slippers, and she had these really super cute, like happy, colorful ones, and
polka dots and bright colors,
plaid, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, we know who's wearing which one." What? So look at these tired old dogs. Look at,
they're so cute.
Yes, and I'll be wearing them.
I love them.
So
I think they're darling.
Okay. Sorry.
And they were a bargain. I was kind of hoping she was going to pull out a pair for me with some sparkle or some bright pink bows. But we can talk about these too. And then I've got a couple things to show.
Or you want to show that and then we do this?
Sure. Okay. I got this on Stash and Load a while ago, and Anita's like, "Yeah, I don't remember you showing this." Oh, maybe I'll talk about this when we talk about quotes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wait. So to be continued. You guys, this,
This
I
is
think
talent.
this is so stunning. I'm a huge Teresa Kogut fan. I just think that she is so incredibly talented in her artwork. And this just speaks to my heart. I love it so much. It's called Pray. And I just think that is so stunning. I just feel such peace when I look at that angel. Just her peaceful, sweet demeanor. Stunning. So I can't wait to stitch this. This is another one I'm dying to start. And it's all in DMC, so gorgeous.
That's full coverage.
Right. Gorgeous shading. Whew. I know. It is it is full coverage, but I think it'll be really fun.
What's the
30 count?
100 wide by 101 high. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's manageable. A stitch at a time.
Right.
Keep saying it over and over.
And this, I am dying to start. This would probably be, like we talked about, just the patterns that just speak to us, and this is it. I would never need to buy another pattern again. I know.
What?
Should I say such a thing?
Back it up. What did you just say? What did you say?
You know, like when you found
Okay,
that
we
pattern
need
that
to
you
edit.
loved, it was like your unicorn, and you were
Right.
like, I don't need another
We're
pattern.
good.
That's how I feel about this one, although you know I'm not going to stop here. Just saying. But
It's too much talent
seriously,
out there.
Oh my gosh. Our friend Teresa Vanette, A Savior's Praise. I know you've heard so much about this one. You've seen it. She's talked about it on her video. This is my heart right here. And I just think it's absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. It's just amazing. And I can't wait to stitch it. Thank you so much, Teresa, for designing this incredible pattern. It is incredible. I can't wait to stitch this.
Oh, and by the way, there's an anchor on it.
Yeah. Is there a candle? Is there light?
No, but-
some source of light?
But we had talked about adding one.
Maybe I
We
could
need
add a
to
little
add
candle
one.
on there.
Well, maybe. My goodness, look at all the detail in there.
Right? I know. There's some stars. That could be my source of light. Since in case you don't know what we're talking about,
We share an Instagram,
yes.
Holly and Anita, and so
No,
we
shine.sparkle.stitch.
shine. Yeah, shined up. Yeah, there. And so we've had a couple comments that said we don't know who's talking, and so sometimes we'll just answer for the both of us.
Yeah.
And then other times when it's specific, I'll initial it with an anchor, and she'll initial it with a candle because
Yes.
that's our word of the year.
Yep.
That's the word we're focusing on this year.
Mine is light. Yours is anchor.
Anchor. Yep.
Yeah, so the stars could be my...
Yeah, that's
My
true.
light. Yeah.
That's true. I'm just gonna put this in my pile.
Whoa, no. I love it. Yeah, both of them.
That is sweet.
So stunning. Speaking of my word of the year, it came from a quote from Yoda, because I'm a huge Yoda fan.
Yep.
I love Yoda. And so my dear friend right here, look what she gave me. I'm like dying. Look.
Had to do it.
Is that not absolutely amazeballs? That is amazing.
Yeah.
A sparkly Yoda. Not only is it Yoda, but he sparkles.
Yeah.
Seriously gorgeous needleminder
He's playing all
from
over.
Accoutrement Designs.
Yep.
Accoutrement Designs.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Who knew?
They have
Who
other
knew?
characters too, but I know Yoda is your
Near and
dude.
dear. He's so precious. I love him. Love him. So, yeah.
Yeah. We also purchased. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Lisa Smith shared. What would you call it? I don't even know what you would
It's
call
like a
this.
little
It's
tote.
called a sassy tote. So, and it is just the right size to have at a retreat. We picked these up at Fat Quarter Shop. And
Cute.
well, there's the blue one for my daughter.
Stitch Potato. We love you.
Yep. So anyway, how handy is
So
this?
handy.
So, was it Amber or somebody said, why a black one? Because they have pink too. But a while back, Kimmy Watson had given me this really beautiful scissor fob with it's just gorgeous. And so I'm like, oh, see those? Oh. I'm going to bling it out a little bit.
Yeah. You want to bling them up.
I am. I'm going to bling it.
I just think it's fun. This will be awesome to have at retreat. To stick. It's got pockets.
You can see everything.
Here.
Right.
And then, of course, this bigger opening in the middle. And then you've got a zipper pouch here. So you can just tuck all your business in there.
So, Kindred Stitcher.
Yeah,
she showed
Lisa.
one, and that was it.
We were like,
we got on the computer.
We jumped right on. Like, yeah, we need one of those.
Yep.
It's really cool. So we're excited to use those. And speaking of that, I forgot to show these.
Oh.
So with my order, I wanted to order a Savior's Praise straight from Teresa because it's her pattern. And I wanted to support her shop in this purchase. And I wanted to get it straight from her. It was important to me because I love her and I want to support her. And I think she's amazing.
Very talented.
Oh gosh. And just a beautiful person. I love you, Teresa. So I ordered this from her. And while you're at it, you got to get more. So I got the Teresa Kogut pattern.
Yeah, look around.
And then she has these awesome thread winders from Osage, which is they're from Paris, France, French ones. And so I ordered 4, and you just get what you get. So you're like, ooh, like I'm excited. What am I gonna get? So this was one of them. I think they're just gorgeous. So here's this one. This one. It's the front. Here we go. Isn't that cool? This one. And this one I just love, love, love. And how perfect is that? I'm going to bling this out. Because, why did I get these? Not to wind thread on. That's crazy. These are too pretty to cover up. Come on.
And they do have holes, so you can hang them.
Right. So
she's
purple bag.
She's going to bling her bag out
purple
too.
Butterfly. I'm all over it.
We can go all out. Like we can glue like rickrack, all that. We can get little sequins going on.
Right.
We can just do it up. Yep.
I have to show you too.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this
is really sweet.
You guys, I'm bowled over. You know how you just mentioned that you're looking for something, and this is kind of my unicorn pattern that I've been searching for. It's been very difficult to find. Prairie Flowers. I had mentioned it in our last video by Prairie Schooler. And one of our friends that we were so thrilled to meet last fall at the Midwest Cross Stitch Retreat contacted me and said, hey, are you the one that wanted Prairie Flowers? I think I found it. And I was like, what? I'm not going to share her name. I didn't ask for her permission to do that, but she knows who she is. And I'm so, so grateful. I thank you so, so much. So gifted me. She found Prairie Flowers as a Janlin kit.
Right.
Isn't that just, who would think? It's the exact same thing.
Right.
But it was just a kit, and it was sealed. I cut it open so that I could take this out.
Right before we videoed.
Right before we videoed.
Right.
So that I could show you this without the plastic over it. But it's the whole kit. So it was the pattern, floss, fabric, all in there, totally sealed. So amazing. Thank you so much, friends. And
I know, that was amazing.
yeah,
it's amazing.
so amazing.
I think that was a Kindred Stitcher as well, wasn't it? No, who showed the pattern?
Oh, yeah. Lisa,
got us to wake up and say, wait a minute, back it up.
Yes, it was Lisa Smith she was stitching this. She was stitching this one.
Yeah.
But she did this gorgeous color conversion. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's my Prairie Schooler that I just desperately want because I love all of them.
And
they're all beautiful.
At some point you had mentioned it to me and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But it's super sweet. I like this one with the pointy flowers and the blue.
Anita likes this one.
Yeah, that's my fave.
I love this one. Of course, I love them all.
Right.
That's just it. I doubt that I will use the fabric and floss that was in the kit because I think it'd be fun to play with the colors. I don't know how old this is.
So
I think it's 1989. 1989, and this has been sealed in a kit for that long that no one has opened it or used it. Crazy. I am so grateful. Thank you. It just means so much. Like, you don't expect, you share that, but not expecting anything, just talking. So it's really special when someone hears that and just has the intention of just wanting to make your day and make you happy and cares that much to do that for you.
It's amazing. And it feels good.
It feels so good. Thank you, friend.
Recently, Yvonne, Night Owl Stitcher, had posted an amazing video to her channel, and so she shared a finish that she had, which is Birds of a Feather, the Sally Spencer sampler,
which a lot of people have done. The Mustang Sally stitch along,
right? But however, she had traded out the quote, and
which says,
which is fine.
Sooner begun, sooner done.
Right.
Is the quote right here.
And she had changed it out for "It is well with my soul," and had put her name instead of Sally Spencer's name. And wow. Like it just stopped me just in my tracks. I just couldn't even think at that point. And I thought, what a great idea. And then I really started thinking about it. And people will have such amazing quotes like, find your joy and life is good. And no, those aren't the quotes I have in my life. I had an interview a long time ago. And I just went Botox. Like, I couldn't think. There was a point and somebody said something, and my response was, well, what you see is what you get. What?
Which is what we've said before, because it's true. We don't edit our videos. We don't.
That's my quote.
Well, what you see is what you get.
Or here's another good one. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. What is wrong with me? Like, I'm in search of a quote that I think, because it just really made me stop and think. You know what? I understand I have my word, the anchor, which has just been a really good thing for me. But people, I need a quote. I need a quote. So I come here and I'm like, what you see is what you get. And she's just like, oh, I've got quotes.
Yeah. She looked at me and she said, do you have quotes? And I'm like, oh, yeah. So first of all, I just want to say "It Is Well With My Soul" is one of my favorite hymns. I love that so much. And I know that we're giggling about quotes, but we truly want to extend our heartfelt sympathies to Yvonne. If you're watching, Yvonne, we love you, and we're so sorry for the journey that you've entered into in December and through until now. Right. And so we just want you to know that our hearts are with you, and we're thankful that you can say "It is well with my soul."
Right.
And we pray that you find comfort in that. So just as an aside, we just wanted to extend that to you. Some quotes. Okay, back to the quotes that I shared with Anita. I had gotten this furry schooler a while back. This is Birdsong 1. And I loved it because it has a quote on it that makes me think of my dad. So many of my stitchy stuff that I get sometimes just reminds me of my dad. But this was a quote that I gave him a long time ago to encourage him, which is on this pattern. It says, "A bird does not sing because it has an answer. It sings because it has a song." And I love that. I love the sentiment.
We can make that fit too.
Somehow.
Like put two lines in.
Oh yeah, maybe.
That's so better than what you see is what you get.
And then I was like, if we're talking scripture, my favorite verse in the Bible. It's Zephaniah 3, the last part of verse 16 and all of 17. It says, cheer up, Zion, but I replaced Zion with my name. So cheer up, Holly. Don't be afraid, for the Lord your God is living among you. He is a mighty Savior. He will take delight in you with gladness. With his love, he will calm all your fears. He will rejoice over you with joyful songs. I love that so much. Those are precious verses to me. So, yeah.
That's not going to fit.
No.
However, if you were to ever create your own sampler, which we have talked about, you could definitely
insert that verse.
Yeah, definitely. So the only other thing I have is a shout out. Anything Blue, Linda Spalding. She just posted maybe a week ago, and so sweet, so much fun. So her projects are beautiful, but go and check her out. Anything Blue. But
I have to say, I thought it was really precious. Anita said after watching Linda, she said she and Michael both, her husband, are mesmerized by her. I mean, how could you not watch?
Completely.
Oh, that's so awesome. I can't wait to watch her videos.
Right.
And I've heard her name. I've seen her comment often on Instagram, and I know that she has followed us on YouTube. So, Linda, we think you're a delight.
We do.
Yeah.
So go and check her out. So I think
we hit it.
I think we hit it, and it's under an hour. What is
Barely.
going on? Okay, I'm like, okay, 30 minutes every time. Okay, this is gonna be fast. This is 30 minutes tops. Our goal will have to be to do like a 12-minute video sometime.
Oh.
And we'll just have to talk fast.
No. I think it has to be at least 30 minutes. I don't mind these long videos. I hope you don't either. I hope you don't mind. Oh, okay.
You can change the speed too. You can change the speed.
Right, just speed us up if you're bothered.
Although when I laugh at it, when you speed it up and I laugh, I sound like one of the chipmunks. I'll just put it out there. It just sounds like every time I laugh, I'm like, oh no, are you kidding? So I just feel like going, ho, 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 ho. Whoa, ho, ho, ho. So that way when you speed it up, it'd be like, ha, 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 you know.
Yeah, sound normal.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I wonder what I sound like.
Oh, try.
I'm afraid. One more thing I just need to add before we close this out. So last time made the comment about LeBron James. I started reflecting on that when we were on our trip, and I told my husband when I said it. He's like, "You said what? On this video that like thousands of people watch?" He's like, oh. And I was like, the more I reflected on it, the more it was bothering me. So I put the post out on Instagram and just apologized because it was really bothering me. I'm like, why would that is not true to my character and who I am. And I just, I didn't like it. So I really want to thank Bobby. She left a comment on that video and talked about, oh my goodness, so sweet. Yeah. Bobby, thank you so much for your comment. I appreciate it so much. She just talked about all the good things that LeBron James has done. And I really appreciated that positivity in looking at him. And he's not my favorite basketball player. And he's said some things that have bothered me in the past, but that doesn't mean that I need to call anybody what I called him. So totally sorry for that. I hope I didn't offend anyone. If I did, I'm super sorry. But I'm really thankful to Bobby for sharing those positive comments. And wouldn't you know, so we did go to the Bucks game. We did have an amazing time. Our favorite player, of course, on the Bucks is Giannis. Okay, I got to see if I say it right because my son always makes fun of me because I say his last name wrong. Antetokounmpo. I think I said it right. He's Greek. He's amazing. They call him the Greek freak. He is an amazing basketball player. My son and I love watching him. Wouldn't you know, he didn't play that night because he had a sprained ankle. And LeBron didn't play that night either. They just benched him because they knew they were going to lose the game. The Lakers were going to lose.
Okay.
And so they didn't want to waste his
Okay.
energies. And so, seriously, like, we wanted to see the matchup. We wanted to see them play against each other, and we didn't get to do that, which is a bummer, but it was still super fun.
Next time.
Next time.
Well,
that'll be that.
Okay, so our plans, just to keep stitching. We have a fellow stitcher who is going to teach us how to make a drum at the Stitchery Nook. And so
fellow stitcher, but dear friend. And
I'm trying to figure out what to stitch up that I can turn into a drum. She gave me some pointers, and so we'll see.
And she's trying to convince me to do it, and I'm like, I don't have time. I can't do it.
And button-up's too big.
Yeah. That won't drum up well.
All right. Well, until we see you guys again, remember to
shine, sparkle, and stitch. Bye, everybody.
Bye.